wanted to talk to you about some shows I've been watching lately as well. There hasn't been a lot of great new ones, but there's been a couple that have kind of piqued my interest. One that's really good, one that's kind of shit. One that not really good, one that's good, okay, is the show on Apple TV called Smoke. Not too sure if you guys have seen it, but it's called Smoke. Essentially, it kind of depicts these two, what do you call them? Arsonist? What are they? Arsonist detectives? They detectives of arson, well, something along those kind of lines. Let me read a synopsis to give you a kind of overview of what it says officially. When an arson investigator begrudgingly teams up with a police detective, their race to stop two arsonists ignites a twisted game of secrets and suspicions. So that's essentially what it is, right? And it stars the sister of Jussie Smollett. Her name is Journey Smollett. She is a dime piece, by the way. She is a dime piece. Journey Smollett, whew, that's a lady. That's a very, very, very good looking lady. She's incredibly fit as well. I think in the series, I'm not too sure if she went on a specific fitness regime for this particular show, but she's jacked. Like, she's really fucking in good fucking nick. The bum goes fucking crazy. There's a couple scenes where you see her fucking bunda and it's like, woo. But essentially, it kind of covers the main protagonist. What guy is the actor called, what's his name? Taron Egerton. He plays Dave Gudson, and he plays a firefighter who unfortunately goes through like a bad, fire thing, whatever happens, and he gets trapped in the building. He eventually escapes, but that leads to him maybe not being on duty anymore and having a desk job and basically being an arson investigator. And then Journey Smollett, who plays the role of Detective Michelle Calderon, she basically gets demoted down to that fire department place because something happens. You don't really find out what happens, but from what they're saying in the series, it seems like she may have got involved romantically with one of her superiors, which might have led to her maybe getting ousted from her whatever where she was working before, narcotics robbery and shit. So they're kind of two people who are trying to rebuild their name, reputation, and they're trying to do so with trying to catch two very high profile arsonists who are wreaking havoc on their local community, right? And one particular guy, I think he kind of targets people who are having fun. When he sees people having fun in places, he kind of follows them home and then essentially just lights their houses on fire. Some of them die, some of them get badly burnt, and it kind of follows them. So there's a really interesting twist in the end of episode 2, which I'm not going to detail, but if you watch the series, you'll see. Like I said, interesting premise. I don't think I've seen a show like this before where it's focusing more. Maybe I've seen fire department shows, but I've not seen a fire, an arson detective, whatever thing. I don't think I've seen that kind of premise before. So a bit of an original premise. Again, Apple TV always have pretty interesting series. If you're looking for something to watch and you're into like, crime, drama, thriller type things, and you like the sound of what I said, I recommend you check it out. Like I said, it's not crazy good, but it's decent enough to watch, I think, personally. Some decent performances, especially from Journey Smollett. She's a really great actor. Obviously helps that she's decent to look at too. But I would definitely recommend you check out Smoke. It's just started. 2 episodes have just dropped. I think episode 3 might be out later this week, but 2 episodes have just dropped and I'm really enjoying it so far. One show that I'm not enjoying, which I was surprised to see getting a lot of good reviews, especially from Comics Explained, which made me think, oh shit, is Comics Explained a shill? I'm sure some of you guys know who Comics Explained is. He's this YouTube channel that kind of, focuses and features a lot of comics. And, he definitely did a lot of good stuff for the community. Him and Comics Historian, RIP to that guy. But they definitely revived my love for comics. Allow me to kind of keep up to breast with what's going on without having to buy a lot of these type of things and, know the kind of, the big stories, the big fucking, series out there that you probably keep an eye on. And recently Comics Explained, that's how I found out about the show, put out a video where he says, oh, we need to talk about Ironheart. And he gave it a pretty decent review. He said he pretty much enjoyed it. And I was surprised. I was like, hold on. All the trailers I've seen of this show, the fact that it got canned or shelved for like 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it was, because I'm assuming Disney kind of felt like it wasn't that great, and then it eventually comes out. I was surprised that he would be like it, to be fair. And just the premise of it alone, like I don't really understand why Ironheart even needs to exist. I don't know why we need to have like a fucking an Iron Man story, but told from the perspective of a girl from the hood. I don't actually see why that's needed. Why we need like a Tony Stark black girl version. Doesn't make any sense to me personally. It just, seems like another DEI diversity type of thing. But Comics Explained had a lot of great things to say about this show. The first 3 episodes of this series dropped. I watched them back to back, and I can confidently say that Comics Explained is definitely a shill, definitely being paid to promote this show, because it's fucking garbage. And it's really bad because it's really dated in how it kind of depicts the black experience. I think there's a lot of really strange, almost offensive stereotype tropes going on here. There's a lot of identity politics in here, which I think is maybe says more about when it was made. It's very heavy-handed, the identity politics stuff. A little bit too much for me. Some of the lingo and the slang, not you this, I'm not gonna, what she say about Tony Stark? I'm not gonna go too hard on Tony. Like, I don't know, some of the dialogue is like nauseating. It's nauseating, the dialogue. Like how do these people learn to speak English? Like through the internet, like through captions. It's fucking bizarre. But I guess if you've worked with Gen Z kids in your office space or workplace, you'd know some of these kids do speak in like captions and stuff. Like, so it's kind of weird. So maybe this is reflective of the real world. But I really didn't enjoy it. The conversation, the dialogue really made it hard for me to kind of keep attention and to keep focus. It was kind of all over the place with that remark. But the premise around it is just such a nonsense show. Essentially, it depicts the main character who's hard to root for. I'm not gonna lie. Dominique Fawn, Ironheart, is a very, 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 very hard person to root for. She basically comes across like the villain. Not gonna lie. She basically come across like the villain. I swear to God. She's very selfish, I think, narcissistic, very impulsive. She essentially, kills a couple people already. I don't like it personally. And I also don't buy even the fact that she's straight. Like, straight up. Like, I don't even buy the fact that she's straight. So this weird love romance that she has going on with one of the like a neighbor guy that she grew up with, that she lost contact with after her best friend died. She moves away, gets a scholarship to study, or no, at some college to try and kind of follow in the footsteps of fucking Tony Stark and build her own iron suit. And then she comes back and there's this guy next door who's kind of looks like he's modeled around Tyler the Creator. I feel like his whole entire style comes from Tyler the Creator, the way he's dressed. And I don't even buy that she's straight. Honestly, it's like a brother and sister relationship, but they're trying to make it romantic and sexual. It's like, bro, she doesn't even seem straight to me. I swear to God, the character, the actor, whatever, it doesn't really rub off that well. I don't get it. The show's all over the place. I really don't get it. I don't even get the animosity between Ironheart and the character called, what's his called name? Kujino John. I didn't even know that was even his name. His name is Kujino John. So I didn't even get the animosity between them two, because by the end of episode 3, I think, spoiler alert, Ironheart kills Kojino John by locking him in a greenhouse thing and not opening the door. But I don't even get why they have so much animosity, because I swear that Kojino John character, he was the one that recruited Ironheart. He's the one that kind of sold her on joining the hood and joining this like clandestine group of like, robbers and shit. And he kind of was the one that gave her the pitch. And he was the one that sort of like, giving a good word for her, putting a good word for her, on behalf of the, to the hood, sorry. So I don't understand why they suddenly got to a place where they're now fighting and they're now enemies. Like, I don't understand it. I don't even get how he was more angry about her nicking the hood in episode 2 than the hood guy was. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And as much as I feel like sometimes there are some things that you could say about Ironheart that you could also say are relating to fucking Tony Stark, I just feel like Tony Stark comes across a lot more of a lovable character. There's just more redeeming qualities in Tony Stark, especially once he has his turn. I think the turn happens when he's making weapons, right, for the army, and then I guess eventually he gets to a place where he actually sees the weapon being put into use, and the weapons are used to kill these soldiers who he's riding with during a demonstration, right? They get ambushed. And that's when his turn comes. He starts to realize, oh shit, I need to do some good in the world. I need to stop being this like hedonistic, selfish billionaire playboy douchebag guy, and I need to kind of take some responsibility for the weapons and for the things I'm putting out there and for the people that it's going to a negative effect. So he has a sort of like redemption arc. So maybe Ironheart's redemption arc will come. Maybe it'll come. Maybe it'll come. But I feel as if it's not there currently. It seems like it's all about her iron suit. Damn you for getting her way. She's gonna move hell and high water to make sure her suit gets what it needs to go to. She's okay with, you know, being essentially a hired gun to rob people for nefarious reasons too. I guess it's justified because, you know, their group justifies them. It's okay to rob, steal, and cheat from people. It's okay to steal from people. It's okay to fucking break into places, fuck up places. Like, I don't know. It's just a bit strange. It's hard to root for her. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to root for her. I don't like the lingo. I don't like the dialogue. There's not a lot of characters that you really want to root for. Maybe the Natalie character, the best friend, that ends up being a digital assistant AI thing. Maybe that is one you want to root for. Maybe the mum. Maybe Ironheart's mum. She seems kind of sweet. I like the story or the backstory, which I hope they kind of, you know, dig into a bit more. There's backstory of Ironheart and her stepdad being a mechanic, or maybe just like, you know, quasi genius engineer that is kind of settled for just being a car mechanic and teaches her the ropes. Hope they build into that kind of relationship more and dig into that, and how much he kind of inspired and instilled, you know, love for engineering or whatever else into her that kind of led her to become this genius that she is. That'd be pretty good to see. But it's not a good show. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't recommend it at all. I think it's a real waste of time. I think it kind of, again, represents how terrible Marvel has been recently, especially under Disney. I feel like it doesn't need to exist personally. It's a really strange story to tell, especially in the way they're telling it. And yeah, man, there's no, if this gets a season 2, I'll be shocked. If this gets a season 2, I'd be absolutely astounded if it gets a season 2, because it's absolutely garbage. But Ironheart's available now. 3 episodes already dropped. I think the 4th episode's already out now, maybe. But 3 episodes dropped altogether. To give you a taste of what the show's about. Watch them back to back. See what you think. But personally, I think it's one of the worst shows I've ever watched. Really, 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 really bad.